Okay, so today we're diving into something that's got me thinking about learning in a whole new way.
Okay.
It's called Glasp. Have you heard of
I
this?
have heard of Glasp, yes.
Okay. So it's one of those ideas that's so simple, you almost can't believe it hasn't always existed.
Right.
And the story behind it, well, let's just say it involves a near-death experience, a mountain of books, and a mission to make knowledge last.
Yeah, it's actually a great example of how our personal experiences can spark these really big ideas.
Yeah.
The founder of Glasp, Kazuki, had this intense brush with mortality that
Yeah.
got him thinking about the knowledge we lose every single day.
Oh, wow.
Those aha moments that just kind of fade away.
Yeah, like you read an amazing book and you highlight all the good parts, but then like a year later, you're like, I don't remember any of this.
Exactly.
It's like, what was the point?
Yeah. And Kazuki, after reading hundreds of books during his recovery, realized that throughout history, like countless brilliant insights have probably been lost simply because there was not a way to easily capture and share them.
Wow.
Like, think about all the things that we've just like completely forgotten.
It's like if they never even happened.
Right.
Okay, so that's where Glasp comes in. It's like a digital time capsule for your brain.
In a way,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's less about preserving your own thoughts and more about tapping into this collective pool of knowledge.
Okay.
So think about it this way. Every time you read an article online or watch a video online, there are probably dozens, maybe hundreds of other people engaging with that same content.
Yeah, that's true, actually, when you think about it.
Right. What if you could see what they're highlighting, what they're finding important?
That's fascinating. It's like being in a silent study group with people who are interested in the same things you are.
Yeah,
You get to see the world through different lenses.
exactly. And that's what makes Glasp different from, say, just a personal note-taking app.
Okay.
It's this idea of collaborative highlighting.
Okay.
You highlight something interesting someone else does too, and suddenly you've got this shared understanding of what's important in that piece of content.
And from what I've read, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Glasp isn't just about highlighting, it's also using AI to do some pretty next level stuff.
hmm
Like, are we talking about robots taking over the world level stuff? Or,
Well, maybe not robots taking over the world, but
right.
we are talking about AI that can analyze information,
Right.
recognize patterns, and even start to understand your individual learning style.
Oh, wow.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so you're saying Glasp's AI can, like, figure out what I personally find interesting. Does
Yeah.
it, like, know me better than I know myself, or?
Well, it's not quite reading your mind just yet, but it
Okay.
is learning from your behavior.
Okay.
So every time you highlight something, Glasp's AI is taking note, and it starts to recognize patterns in the type of information you gravitate towards, the connections you're making between different ideas.
So it's like if I'm constantly highlighting, like, stats and figures, it'll know I'm a data nerd.
Right.
And if I'm all about the, like, big picture takeaways, it'll pick up on that too.
Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens because Glasp uses that understanding of your learning style to personalize your experience.
Oh.
So it can suggest related content. You might find interesting, even surface highlights from other users who seem to think like you.
So it's like having a personal librarian who knows exactly what you'll find fascinating, even if you didn't know you were looking for it.
Right. And it goes even further than that.
Okay.
Glasp is developing this concept of a digital clone.
A digital clone.
Yeah, basically an AI representation of your learning journey within the platform.
Okay.
So imagine having access to this searchable archive of everything you've ever highlighted, all organized and categorized by Glasp's AI.
Okay, now that's just blowing my mind.
Yeah.
So instead of just vaguely remembering that I read something interesting about, say, the history of coffee a while back,
Right.
I could just be like, hey, digital clone,
Yeah.
what were my key takeaways on the history of coffee? And it would pull up all my past highlights, notes, even connections to other users' highlights on that topic.
That's pretty amazing.
Wow, that's wild. It's like having a perfect memory, but for everything you've ever learned online.
Yeah,
That's a lot of information, though.
it is a lot.
I feel like our brains are already on overload as is.
That's a valid concern,
Yeah.
and it's definitely something that Glasp's creators have thought about.
Okay.
They see it not as a way to remember everything,
Oh, okay.
but as a way to filter out the noise and focus on the insights that resonated most with you at the time.
So it's less about like memorizing facts and figures
Right.
and more about like rediscovering those aha moments that sparked your curiosity in the first place.
Exactly. And because it's all powered by AI, they can constantly evolve and adapt to your changing interests and learning patterns as well.
Okay, I have to admit this is really cool, but like how is this actually helping people in the real world?
Yeah.
Are we just talking about some like futuristic sci-fi concept here, or is this something that people are using right now?
Well, Glasp already has a dedicated user base, and they're seeing some really tangible benefits.
Oh, wow.
In fact, we've got some testimonials from real users who say Glasp is changing the way they learn and retain information.
Okay, let's hear it.
For example, one user, a software engineer, said,
A software engineer, huh? So they're probably already used to like navigating a ton of information.
right, like it's their job.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of difference did they say Glass made?
Well, they said that before Glasp, they were drowning in a sea of browser tabs, constantly losing track of important articles and code
Oh,
snippets.
I feel that.
But with Glasp, they can highlight and organize everything in one place, making it so much easier to find what they need when they need it.
It's like going from a chaotic, overflowing file cabinet to a perfectly indexed digital library.
Exactly. And it's not just about organization either.
Okay, what else?
Another user, a graduate student, talked about how Glasp helps them with active reading.
Okay.
They said that the act of highlighting and taking notes within Glasp helps them engage with the material on a deeper level, which leads to better comprehension and retention.
That makes sense. It's like the difference between passively watching a movie and like actively discussing it with a friend afterwards. You just remember more when you've actually like engaged with the ideas.
Precisely. And because Glasp lets you see what others are highlighting.
Right.
It's like having that built-in study group, even if you're learning independently.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you get exposed to those different perspectives and interpretations that you might not have considered on your own.
So it's like this constant exchange of ideas, even if you're not like directly interacting with other users in real time.
Right. And that's something that Glasp's founders are really passionate about,
Okay.
creating a more open and collaborative learning environment.
I like it.
They see Glasp as a tool for democratizing access to knowledge, breaking down the silos that often exist between individuals and institutions.
That's a big vision. We've talked about the personal benefits like better organization, deeper learning, even discovering new ideas. But this idea that Glasp could actually change the way we learn as a society, that's pretty huge.
It is. Imagine a world where instead of knowledge being locked away in expensive textbooks or scattered across the internet, it's curated and shared in a way that's accessible to anyone with an internet connection.
It's like the Library of Alexandria, but digital
Right.
and constantly evolving. It's kind of an incredible idea, and it makes you wonder, what will our digital legacies look like in this kind of world? Like if someone were to look at my digital clone 100 years from now, what would they learn about me?
That's a fascinating question, isn't it? It really makes you think about the traces we leave behind in the digital world.
Yeah.
And it's not just about individual legacies either.
Right.
Imagine the collective knowledge that we could build together if we all shared our insights and perspectives in this way.
It's a lot to process, that's for sure. But it's exciting to think about the possibilities. Well, I have to say, this deep dive into Glasp has been quite the journey. We've covered a lot of ground, from the power of personal experiences to the future of learning in a digital age.
And hopefully we've given you a glimpse into how technology like Glasp can not only help us learn more effectively, but also connect with each other on a deeper level.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire some of you to start building your own digital legacies, one highlight at a time. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those aha moments alive.